Good evening, everybody. We've got a great little spread here of wonderful news regarding to the C19 pandemic. Things are really starting to move and shake now. We've got the new government moving in to help end everything for us. It's going to be great. They're going to be really taking things over here. And of course, our first hero in this action movie that we're discussing here is Dr. Scientist, MD, science professional, Dr. Bill Gates. And he says, "Congratulations to President-elect Joe and Vice President-elect Kamala. Thank you to the election officials and campaign workers who worked tirelessly to ensure a record number of Americans could cast a ballot and have it counted during such an challenging time for our country." Yeah, that's not the proper English there, Billy boy. I look forward to working with the new administration and leaders on both sides in Congress on getting the surging pandemic under control, engaging partners around the world on issues like poverty and climate change, and addressing issues of inequality and opportunity at home. Because everything is climate change and everything has to be racism. Everything. They've just gone with the World Economic Forum and the United Nations and the New World Order apparatus just has not stopped pushing this progressive ideology. And there's, millions and millions and millions of people all over the world that are totally not buying this propaganda nonsense, but young people in the United States, from my understanding, are, kind of soaking it up. And that's why these are the people that are in the streets. Super excited to have our new president-elect, and they all happen to be supporters of BLM and feminism, all these wonderful things, and it just seems to be that they just completely forgot that the guy was a segregationist, hung out with actual bona fide KKK members, and has said a lot of actual racist things. But none of that matters. As long as the TV tells them that it's a good thing, they will believe that it is a good thing. So, we've got one of the most evil human beings on the planet, super excited to get his little Weasley billionaire philanthropist hands on it, right? So, he's also trying to weasel in on the next stimulus bill, and that's what they want, right? Every time our government passes any type of legislation or bills or mandates, whatever it is, it never has anything to do with helping the people. No, that's not what it's for. It's always a bunch of competing special interests looking to get their share. That's what it is. That's what watermarks are. They like to tack on little things that have absolutely nothing to do with what the bill is, and everybody wants to get a little bit of a piece. Oh, we need to get some money over here for climate change or for this or for that, and looks like good old Billy Boy here is trying to weasel himself into the stimulus program, because that's what it is. He is, he says that he's donating all this money and everything, but really what it is he has all of these organizations, which if you've been watching my channel for any given amount of time, you know that it's all about setting up all these shell foundations and organizations and, claiming to be looking about health. And really what it ends up being is that it's a huge, huge profit source and a power source for him. So instead of the normal thing, which a lot of rich people get into politics to go directly to get power and hold a seat in Congress or presidency, even whatever, right? No, see what they've done is they've done something even more sneaky and more devious. They go outside of government by creating these non-government organizations or these civil society organizations. It allows them to circumvent the government, right? By not being held to the same standards that government could be held to, but they get the same, if not more, power by operating outside of it, right? And as you know, the CDC, the World Health Organization, all these different health organizations that are government bodies, they all have their own foundations, right? So they spread money around from the Gates Foundation to the CDC Foundation, and that's how they purchase influence within the government. So that's what's going on here with old Billy Boy, Dr. Bill Gates. Vaccines! So, the shadow government's latest installation of the presidency, Grandpa Stinky Sleazy Uncle Joe, well, he's creating his own C-19 task force, right? Isn't that interesting? these people seem to believe that all of these bots that they've bought and paid for all over Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and everything, they seem to believe that that's the general consensus of the actual public, right? They try so hard to create the reality that they want, right, by having all these bots. Like if you go online, anytime they talk about the president now, anytime he tweets or Instagrams or Facebooks, whatever, there's all kinds of people. 230,000 people have died. 230,000 people have died. Just nonstop bots all over the place, right? So these people still believe that the general public is really excited for mandates and lockdowns and everything else, when then it just couldn't be further from the truth, right? People are sick of it. People have already woken up to it, but still, they're pushing it as if the public believes their false reality that they've created, this alternate reality where their support is like probably 80% just a bunch of bots and fake accounts, right? The average person is not on board with this stuff. So let's just take a quick look at the C19 task force of President-elect. Let's just take a look at a few of the people. So they've listed them here. And, talking about wonderful people. And it's always, they're this expert, that expert. Honestly, these people are, they're long past the time of being doctors, right? They've morphed into medical politicians is what they are. So all these appointed positions, FDA, CDC, all of them, they've turned into politicians, right? Same thing with Rand Paul, right? Rand Paul is not an active doctor. He hasn't been for quite some time, but he's still a doctor. Rand Paul, but he's a politician. It's the same thing with these guys too. So we'll just take a quick look at a few of them and just see if we might be able to find a common thread between these upstanding medical professionals, right? So this guy right here, David A. Kessler, he's going to be heading up the board. He's one of the guys that worked with the Bill Clinton administration, but one of his claims to fame is going after Big Tobacco. But what was behind going after Big Tobacco, right? What was behind it? Well, I used to be a smoker many years ago, and when I started smoking as a kid, you could buy a pack of cigarettes for 99 cents. Now, in some states, they're like $14 a pack. Now, how did that happen? And why did it happen? Well, the government decided that they were going to increase the taxes as a deterrent to smoking, right? Which really, honestly, only ends up being a tax on poor people, because the majority of people that smoke, no offense, I was there too, are poor people. So he got them to help push the taxation on cigarettes, which ended up, being an extra tax on poor people, just like the lottery is, and but it's for safety and health. And then he went after silicone breast implants when it turned out that the illnesses and diseases and everything that were coming from the silicone implants weren't from the implants at all. So, and then Yale School of Medicine. So if that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what will tell you anything. So then this guy was, put up as the front for the Flint water. And, there's all kinds of articles where he's talking about how, the kids that are drinking this water, they're going to be okay. It's going to be okay, kids. You'll be okay. You've just been drinking fluoridated, leaded tap water directly into your very vulnerable young brains. But most of them are going to be okay, right? So, more government. So they try to put this guy up as the expert, non-assuming, soft-spoken guy. He's a person of color too. But all tied up with the shadow gov. And, so I think that's very interesting. And then we have this person here, Marcella Nunez Smith. And what is she? Well, Yale again. Yale, of course. And basically, she's all about equity, equality, all of the social justice wars. They got to get that thing in there too. We really care about black and brown people, right? It's just a big marketing ploy, a big propaganda ploy. So we got the resident social justice warrior doctor, and then you're not going to believe this. Why I hope I die at 75. An argument that society and families and you will be better off if nature takes its course swiftly and promptly. So, we got a nice little eugenicist thread. Oh gosh, look, he's just an innocent-looking old guy with some glasses on. He's innocent. He doesn't want a bunch of people to die, because it's better for the greater good. No, not at all. So he'll fit right in with the new Bill Gates entourage here. And then we got this guy, Center for AIDS Research, okay, Eric Gooseby, MD. So anytime you see anything relating to AIDS, you've got like a 98% chance that the funding from it is coming directly from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They've been going after AIDS forever, right? And AIDS itself is largely disputed. I'm not an expert on it myself, but it's largely disputed as to what causes it, how it operates, and all that good stuff. But one thing I wanted to point here is he worked with the Clinton administration, and he was the Global AIDS Coordinator under President Barack Obama. And he currently serves as the UN Secretary General Special Envoy on Tuberculosis. Again, Bill Gates, super involved in tuberculosis. And where are we at? Also, yes, and I think that was it. So yeah, Bill Gates. No, more Bill Gates, more New World Order, United Nations, World Health, all that stuff. But here's the good news, guys. If you didn't want to go wait in those lines that are out there to get your test, because they're big, long lines, we know the media told us that, right? Big, long lines, and you just really need to test, get a quick C19 test. Here's a good thing. You can just order them online now. Order them online, shove this thing in your back of your throat, tickle your brain, get some brain juice, brain fluids all over the swab, send it back, and then they'll be able to tell you. It's the best PCR test ever, because we know that they're very, very accurate. So, good news, everybody. Only $119. So, if you got the sniffles, then, go ahead and go for it. Now, if you've already had the illness, well, here's some bad news. 1 in 5 C19 patients develop mental illness within 90 days. Well, you'd have to be under some kind of mental illness to get in a line and get tested for C19, because there's no cure for it. There's no actual treatment for it unless you're seriously ill from it, which, if you're over 65, there's a chance that may happen. But otherwise, not really much you can do. And most normal, reasonable people, if they get the flu and they get the sniffles or they get a cold or whatever, they will typically stay away from other people while they're sick, because that's what normal people do. But, we need to make sure you get tested, because that's definitely going to help things, right? It's definitely, it's all of this testing. And look, now we're seeing another spike. So strange. All of the things that they put in, and yet they're telling us there's another spike. Incredible, man. It seems like almost nothing that they tell us to do works, but then we're supposed to do it, and then they tell us that it works. So really interesting how that works. And they've been doing this from the beginning, right? They had like the CNN anchor that got sick. I don't even remember that guy's name. He's like, oh, my bones ache forever now. I'm having lasting effects from it forever. Like, just people just making up all kinds of total nonsense BS. But, there is a good chance that we live in clown world.
As of today, there have been 38,160 cases of COVID-19 in Oregon, with 390 new cases being reported today. Sadly, we are also reporting 3 deaths today, bringing the statewide total for COVID-19 related deaths to 608.
So I'm sure you guys already seen this and everything, but it's just fitting. It is fitting just how not seriously all of these people telling us to take this seriously are behaving, right? No serious person would say, my job today is to announce deaths from this deadly, dangerous pandemic. And so you know what? It is Halloween, so I'm going to go ahead and dress up like a clown. No serious, mature, responsible human being would ever do that. Ever. Who would do that? Nobody would do that, right? But that just goes to show they do not take this seriously. But we're all expected to take it seriously. And of course, now we have celebrations in the streets every single day. Oh, we have this new wonderful segregationist. He's the president-elect. It's so wonderful. And, like I showed you the other day, spreading around, drinking out of the same bottle of champagne and passing it around. Everybody dancing and humping police cars like they normally do. So, everybody's really, really scared about it. Totally terrified. But only if it's, people protesting. They're like, hey, I want to keep my job, man, and be able to feed my family. Now, that's got to go. Can't do that. That's definitely scary. But if you're celebrating, shadow government operations, well, that's okay. That's okay. As long as the TV tells you it's okay, it is okay. So, with that being said, great news on the pandemic front, right? They're working. They are going to end it for us. All we got to do is lock down for 2 weeks to flatten the curve, wear a face diaper for a couple months, and that'll be it, and it'll be over. At least that's what they told us a long, long time ago. Now that we have millions of people starving all over the world, we're supposed to just keep on going along with it. So, anyways, obviously, over the next few months, I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody really does. But I think that there's a really good likelihood that the insanity and craziness is going to keep on keeping on. And, so be careful, prepare if you can. Not trying to be a fear monger, but load up on, personal devices that would allow you to defend yourself properly. Make sure you've got food, storable food, clean water, and things like that. And just, try to be prepared. I'm not saying anything's going to happen or not. I don't know. But, again, responsible, normal human beings could see that there could be some crazy things coming over the horizon. So, hopefully everybody's enjoying their dystopian New World Order society that we're now living in. The new normal. Oh, gosh, it's great. We're gonna have Zoom sex now when it's dating time, right? No more human contact, nothing. Just a bunch of evil people destroying the world for their own pleasure and trying to like a phoenix rising from the ashes, rebuild it in their own image, like gods that they believe that they are. And they got to be stopped. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to follow me on all the alternatives: BitChute, LBRY, BitTubers, brand new Tube, all over the place. Odyssey, Gab, Float, Parler. You've got to get on the alternatives because the New World Order censorship machine is going to be locking us down online, and we will not be able to speak anymore. So support alt tech. We can still beat these people, but we need to wake other people up around us, and keep pushing forward. So hopefully you guys are doing well. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Check back tomorrow for another video as usual, and take care.